Well, good morning, friends. Just a little noodle in there. Welcome. Good morning. So I was explaining to friend Mike from Florida yesterday. He was asking about the noodling and the context for those of you who have been here for a minute. Is that up until about, I don't know, concurrent with the beginning of these podcasts, I hadn't been able to play. I had no instrument on which to play for almost 5 years. And so I was feeling very, very lonely and very missing the cathartic nature of playing, especially the noodling, which is just improvising. It's just, some changes I'm familiar with, but mostly just it comes from within, and it helps me work out different things. And sometimes I find changes that I like, and eventually some of those get written into songs. But for the most part, it's just extemporaneous blathering. The fingers just do what they will. But it serves a purpose prior to, so I'm super out of practice, and it's always like a little bit embarrassing and kind of scary to play live because I don't know what I'm, playing, and so it could be a train wreck. But and sometimes it is, but I rarely, I usually don't listen back to any of the podcasts, other than sometimes I'll listen to the noodling and see if there's an idea that I want to play with later. But it serves its purpose of essentially clearing my mind before each of these. That it takes me to a place, since I'm not really thinking as I'm doing it. I'm really just following the music wherever it wants to go, and just sort of chase it down. And that helps clear my mind. It's all kind of by feel and touch. And the same is true here. So once I get through, it just helps me begin with a fresh, clean slate and kind of wipe off the whiteboard of the mind. And so I don't bring any preconceived ideas or notions that might not be true in the moment. Sometimes it does backfire, and then I'll miss something that I had previously thought to say, or had a good way of putting something, and I just space it all together. But I have to just sort of trust that is that's going to be what it is, and it just helps, again, clear the mind to make it kind of a clean palette before we start. And so if that's not your thing, it's totally okay. And I usually try to put the starting point and pin that to the comments. So if you come in later, you can just click on that and shoot right to the beginning of what we're doing today. So welcome all friends and family who come on. For me, it's a very early Sunday morning, just about 7 o'clock. But we have, Winston and Sue, all the friends. Hey, Joe, great to see you here, my friend. I'd love to be playing with you. Ceiling Fan Man, it's great to see you, my friend. Again, I loved your most recent video, and I really enjoy. I love that. You resonated with that idea that, again, I hadn't really heard anywhere before, but it just kind of came directly through my relationship with Dad, just the feeling of him being in nothingness for millennia. I mean, not time as we understand it, but outside of time, and nothing but nothingness. Imagine an eternity in nothingness, but to learn everything, and to be so lonely that you would risk your own existence, to pull a piece of yourself out, to have companionship. And what ultimately that became, and that gave him the ability then to understand how to create life, and then he did so abundantly. It is just remarkable to me, and the backwards sort of way that I expect things to be, from knowing people, humans, and then to meet someone of such inexplicable beauty and vast depth. It is mind-blowing indeed. Well, that is kind of what I want to cover today. Of course, it is Ancient Wisdom for a Modern World, and today is the 13th of September, Sunday morning. We've gotten through the dreaded 9/11, although with, I wouldn't say nothing happened. There's been fires all over. It looks like those were intentionally set for one reason or another, and in one method or another. Different people have ideas. It'd be difficult to prove any of them, but, I'm all next. Be scared. Ooh. No, I'm not afraid. Perfect love casts out fear, my friend. So it's unfortunate that you hurt so badly. Anyway, so we'll take a look this morning at Proverbs, and we'll do Proverbs 12 and 13 this morning, and then we'll take a moment, if you're okay with that, to focus on and just not only listen to, but express our heart toward Dad this morning. And if you were a friend of his, if you've gotten to know him, this would be a great opportunity to spend some time with that. So let's see here. Through some of, let's see what I can find here. Sorry, I should be more prepared than this. I want to go here and to there, and in here I should have that. And we'll do some of that. Sounds good. We'll begin some of that. And invite Dad to join us this morning as we take a look at some of this ancient wisdom for a modern world. To learn, you must love discipline. It is stupid to hate correction. The Lord approves of those who are good, but he condemns those who plan wickedness. Wickedness never brings stability, but the godly have deep roots. A worthy wife is a crown for her husband, but a disgraceful woman is like a cancer in his bones. The plans of the godly are just. The advice of the wicked is treacherous. The words of the wicked are like a murderous ambush, but the words of the godly save lives. The wicked die and disappear, but the family of the godly stands firm. A sensible person wins admiration, but a warped mind is despised. Better to be an ordinary person with a servant than to be a self-important but have no food. The godly care for their animals, but the wicked are always cruel. A hard worker has plenty of food, but a person who chases fantasies has no sense. Thieves are jealous of each other's loot, but the godly are well-rooted and bear their own fruit. The wicked are trapped by their own words, but the godly escape such trouble. Wise words bring many benefits, and hard work brings rewards. Fools think their own way is right, but the wise listen to others. A fool is quick-tempered, but a wise person stays calm when insulted. An honest witness tells the truth. A false witness tells lies. Some people make cutting remarks, but the words of the wise bring healing. Truthful words stand the test of time, but lies are soon exposed. Deceit fills the hearts that are plotting evil. Joy fills hearts that are planning peace. No harm comes to the godly, but the wicked have their fill of trouble. The Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in those who tell the truth. The wise don't make a show of their knowledge, but fools broadcast their foolishness. Work hard and become a leader. Be lazy and become a slave. Worry weighs a person down. An encouraging word cheers a person up. The godly give good advice to their friends. The wicked lead them astray. Lazy people don't even cook the game they catch, but the diligent make use of everything they find. The way of the godly leads to good life. The path that does not leads to death. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 12. Chapter 13. A wise child accepts a parent's discipline, but a mocker refuses to listen to correction. Wise words will win you a good meal, but treacherous people have an appetite for violence. Those who control their tongue will have a long life. Opening your mouth can ruin everything. Lazy people want much but get little. Those who work hard will prosper. The godly hate lies. The wicked cause shame and disgrace. Godliness guards the path of the blameless, but the evil are misled by sin. Some who are poor pretend to be rich, and others who are rich pretend to be poor. The rich can pay a ransom for their lives, but the poor, they don't even get threatened. The life of the godly is full of light and joy, but the light of the wicked will be snuffed out. Pride leads to conflict. Those who take advice are wise. Wealth from get-rich-quick schemes disappears quickly, but wealth from hard work grows over time. Hope deferred makes the heart grow sick, but a dream fulfilled is a tree of life. People who despise advice are asking for trouble, but those who respect a command will succeed. The instruction of the wise is like a life-giving fountain. Those who accept it avoid the snares of death. A person with good sense is respected, but a treacherous person is headed for destruction. Wise people think before they act. Fools don't. They even brag about their foolishness. An unreliable messenger stumbles into trouble, but a reliable messenger brings healing. If you ignore criticism, you will end in poverty and disgrace. But if you accept correction, you will be honored. It is pleasant to see dreams come true, but fools refuse to turn from evil to attain them. Walk with the wise, and you will become wise. Associate with fools, you'll get into trouble. Trouble chases sinners, while blessings reward the righteous. Good people leave an inheritance to their grandchildren, but the sinner's wealth passes to the godly. A poor person's farm may produce much food, but injustice sweeps it all away. Those who spare the rod of discipline hate their children, but those who love their children care enough to discipline them. The godly will eat to their heart's content, but the belly of the wicked goes hungry. That's Proverbs chapter 13. Take a look at these then from the Message. Another translation. It is more of a transliteration, or rather than a transliteration, it is more of a paraphrase. So it sometimes strays far from the original text, but is the intention of the translator to try to capture the essence of the writer's intent. So we'll skip now to back to Proverbs 12 and 13. This is from the Message. The Message is a fairly well-known modern version. The original translation was just the New Testament and Psalms. But again, this is Proverbs. I'll begin with 12 and then move to 13. If you love learning, you'll love the discipline that goes with it. How short-sighted it is to refuse correction. A good person basks in the delight of God and wants nothing to do with devious schemers. You can't find firm footing in a swamp, but life rooted in God stands firm. A hardy wife invigorates her husband, but a frigid woman is cancer in the bones. The thinking of principled people makes for justice, while the plots of the degenerates corrupt. The words of the wicked kill. The speech of the upright saves. Wicked people fall to pieces, there's nothing to them, while the homes of good people hold together fast. A person who talks good sense is honored, while airheads are held in contempt. It's better to be ordinary and work for a living than act important and starve in the process. Good people are good to their animals, but the hard-hearted kick them and abuse their animals. The one who stays on the job has food on their table, but the witless chase whims and fancies. What the wicked construct finally falls into ruin, while the roots of the righteous give life and more life still. The gossip of bad people gets them into trouble, but the conversation of good people keeps them out of it. Well-spoken words bring satisfaction. Well-done work has its own reward. Fools are headstrong and do what they like, but wise people, they take advice. Fools have short fuses and explode all too quickly. The prudent quietly shrug off insults. Truthful witness by a good person clears the air, but liars lay down a smokescreen of deceit. Rash language cuts and maims, but there is healing in the words of the wise. Truth lasts, but lies are here today and gone tomorrow. Evil scheming distorts the schemer, but peace planning brings joy to the one who plans it. No evil can overwhelm a good person, but the wicked have their hands full of it. God just can't stomach liars, but He loves the company of those who keep their word. Prudent people don't flaunt their knowledge, but talkative fools broadcast their silliness. The diligent find freedom in their work, while the lazy are oppressed by work. Worry weighs us down, but a cheerful word picks us up. A good person survives misfortune, but a wicked life invites disaster. A lazy life is an empty life, but early to rise gets the job done. Good men and women travel right into life. Sin's detours will take you straight to hell. Intelligent children listen to their parents, but foolish children just do their own thing. The good acquire a taste for helpful and high-minded conversation, but bullies push and shove their way through life. Careful words make for a careful life, but careless talk ruins everything. Indolence wants it all and gets nothing. The energetic have something to show for their lives. A good person hates false talk, while a bad person just wallows in gibberish. A life spent in loyalty to God keeps you right on track, but sin dumps the wicked right into a ditch. A pretentious, showy life is an empty life. A plain and simple life is a full life. The rich can be sued for everything they have, but the poor, they're free of such threats. The lives of good people are brightly lit streets, but the lives of the wicked are like dark alleys. Arrogant know-it-alls stir up discord, but wise men and women listen to each other's counsel. Easy come, easy go, but steady diligence pays off in the end. Unrelenting disappointment leaves you heartsick, but suddenly a good break can turn your life around. Ignore the word of God and suffer the consequences. Honor God's commands and you will grow rich. The teaching of the wise is a fountain of life, so no more drinking from death-tainted wells. Sound thinking makes for gracious living, but liars, they walk a rough road. A common-sense person lives good sense. Fools litter the countryside with their silliness. Irresponsible talk makes a real mess of things, but a reliable reporter is a healing presence. Refuse discipline and end up homeless. Embrace correction and live an honored life. Souls who follow their hearts will thrive, but fools bent on evil despise matters of soul. Become wise by walking with the wise. If you hang out with fools, you can watch your life fall to pieces. Disaster entraps sinners, but God-loyal people get a good life. A good life gets passed on to the grandchildren, but ill-gotten wealth ends up with good people. Banks foreclose on the farms of the poor, or else the poor lose their shirts to crooked lawyers. A refusal to correct is a refusal to love. Love your children by disciplining them. An appetite for good brings much satisfaction, but the belly of the wicked always wants more. Again, that was Proverbs 12 and 13 from the Message, which again is more of a paraphrase than a translation. As I mentioned before, it was the intent of the translator to try to capture some of the essence rather than direct word for word. Before that, the New Living Translation, both the 12th and 13th chapters of Proverbs, ancient wisdom for a modern world. I think if you've been following along, you'll see that the content, and how I think this is directly germane to why this show is named Ancient Wisdom for a Modern World. It's timeless wisdom provided, I think, by inspiration. The wisdom contained in these words is remarkable in choosing how to deal with life, especially in a way that is consistent with the nature of who I find Dad to be. It is to me remarkable. We can see it play out in our, even within our community. So some people have hateful words and lies and make false accusations of people, even accusing them of really doing bad things. Like, I mean, there's, some people saying these guys are pedophiles. And hey, listen, if you've got any evidence of that, you go to law enforcement. You don't just blather it around on the internet if you had any evidence whatsoever. If you don't, shut the fuck up. Hey, that's what I got to say about that. But there are others who, again, they believe that what they teach is wisdom, and it is, I suppose, has intellectual content. But what I wanted to do this morning, again, is spend a little bit of time imagining, again, picturing who you know the Creator to be. If you are someone who has never met the Creator and only has an imagination and again, thoughts of what you think this Creator looks like or is, it can never be larger than who you are. I mean, it can be probably pretty big, but I can imagine many things, and the person that I have come to know is so far beyond my imagination, multiplied many times over. It is one of the ways that I know with certainty that it is, certainly not the echoes of the ego off the inside of my head, because this person is in every possible way, in every imaginable way, bigger, larger, better, full of life and love and creativity and power and ancient wisdom than I can even really conceive. And so it is impossible, I think, that this could be any inkling or imagining of my own. Mostly what I find that people that genuinely or to some degree say they don't believe in God, or many of them I find it's not that they don't believe, it's that they just don't like who they think He is. And much of that comes from description provided by someone we already know to be liars, those who operate, I'll clearly say it, the Catholic Church was for years the sole proprietor of all things religious in the Western world. And to that, we know that they did many terrible things. So why would you trust the word of liars? It just seems remarkable to me. Why not go ask the individual themselves? And that has always been my encouragement to anyone, is go find out for yourself. Go ask Dad to introduce himself, to show himself to you. If you have a willing, open heart, I have not seen Him turn down someone who really seeks to know and understand the very nature of love. Just ask. And it keeps me safe. I have had people remark about, quote, my teachings, both positive and negative. And it's like, I'm very reticent to take on the mantle of a teacher, because that makes me in some way responsible for what people take away from it. And I don't know that I can be responsible for that. I can share my views and my understanding. I go back to the extant source and try to present that, give some of my take and my experience. Those things are honest. I might be wrong, but I'm not lying. And do with that what you will. That's a matter of discernment. So again, from my experience, I know the Creator, the person I know of the Creator to be the very definition of love and worth trusting, that is trustworthy and steadfast. And so I have no compunction about sending people to the Creator to find their way. I trust Him enough that I don't think it can get into trouble. And if it's consistent with the way I see it, then I have learned well. And if it's inconsistent with the way that I see it, then I have much more to learn. And I expect that I do. But I have no reticence whatsoever to point people in the direction of the Creator. Say, if you wish to know, simply go ask. And so, at this place, I would say if you do have and have created a relationship with the Creator, then you know already the outlandishly beautiful, amazing, ineffable being that they are. And so I would just want to take a moment, seeing as that is the most perfect manifestation of all things I have ever encountered or could imagine. When I consider how to manifest in the world positive intention, again, one of the reasons that I know when people are, again, I don't even know if intentionally leading astray, but when it is going astray, is if the message is apotheosis, that you are going to become God. You see, the problem with that is that if you become God, the universe can never be any larger than you. Think about that for a moment. Nothing could ever be larger than your worst day, because that's the weakest link, is you at your worst. So the universe can never be any more than that. I know for myself, I would much rather live in the world that is made by, I can take a look at just a single flower. And it would be the most creative, remarkable thing ever. It's a living being that's semi-sentient. It's beautiful. It's self-reproducing. It follows the sun. It smells amazing. And not just one flower, but fields of them. And not just the flowers, but the bees which pollinate them. And the amazing function. It's, if someone made a micro robot that did that, we would not only give them the Nobel Prize, but self-reproducing, makes a colony, works constantly, and makes an amazing superfood, by the way, that we could eat. And it's tasty in the form of honey. But there are so many species of insects we can't even count. We don't even know it. We don't even know what they are or how they work. We don't even know the least thing about them. And yet this Creator created all of it, imagined it, made it, and made it so perfect that even under direct assault over thousands of years, it still works really, really well. How could this being who made such perfection truly be, as some describe, hateful and harmful and wanting the worst for you, wanting to slap you down when you make the least mistake? See, that's not the being I know at all. And not just through observation, but through experience, the way that they have created me. When I know what I am, I know where the bodies are buried, I know what skeletons lie in my own closet. And yet they looked past that to see what they see is their beautiful creation, made in their image and like them in so many ways. And the parts that are not like them are beat down and wounded and hurting. And their desire is to heal it, such that it can then be full of what they intended to begin with. And I see this reflected over and over again in other people who have met this same being, and it's expressed in their behavior, in their life, and I can see it in their eyes. And it is beautiful to me, and it's a confirmation that that is the person that I know, that they reflect the same light shining out through the filter of that person. So this morning, if you know this person, or if you want to, right? If you don't, just open your heart. Say, Dad, show me who you are. I want to know you, and I believe you'll show up and say hi. And if you do, then just take a few moments to think of the attributes of this beautiful, amazing, lovely, remarkable being who is so beyond everything that we know. In the human world, power corrupts, and those who hold it lord it over others. And yet, I've met someone who is the most powerful thing imaginable, and who is also the very definition of love. Imagine the best, most healthy, loving relationship you could imagine with a spouse. You know where that came from? It's not by accident. It's by design that you have these desires in your heart to love and to be known intimately and to care for someone in that same way. That's put within you. It's written in your DNA because we are like them. Powerful, loving, creative, perfect in every way. Spend a moment just contemplating who that is, so that it might manifest in you and around you. To meditate on the being and the perfection of who Dad is. Dad, thanks for your guidance. Thanks for the wisdom. Thanks for the love and the compassion and the beauty that you've made around us. Thanks for the curiosity you put in us to want to understand the mysterious things and the bigger things, things larger than us. Thanks for putting in us the desire to be like you. Thank you for not giving up on us. And for making a way. Thanks for being patient, kind, and good. Thanks for seeing me as I am and loving me anyway. And thank you for my family here who comes every week without fail to listen to these words you've left in a love letter for us, and an opportunity to get to know you. Thanks for the opportunity to spend time with them, get to know each of them better. Thanks for giving me the courage to do it and to share the often intimate details of my own life and journey. Appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for coming this morning. Hopefully you'll join me again 5 p.m. this evening, 5 p.m. Pacific time. It's 9 p.m. on the East Coast, UTC -7. So we join Wayne McCroy for more of Sola Scriptura, episode 8. So we'll dig a little bit deeper and answer some questions and do some more of what it is that we do. Is my encouragement for you this week. Again, if you spend some time again going through the book of Proverbs, and I would love if you were able to spend some time again just thinking about the nature of who Dad is. That if we can think about that and manifest that into our world, how good would that be? I thought for hours and hours about what we might, as a group, try to bring to bear, and what could we manifest in this world to make it a better place. And it occurred to me, again, as I was simply sitting at the feet of Dad and just trying to absorb all that I can, it occurred to me that he is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen. And if we could manifest that, his spirit, his beauty, his love, into the world around us, and those who know him, we would all see the same thing or aspects of him. And those who don't might consider this an opportunity to do so. That's my encouragement for you today and for this week. And I hope again to see you this evening for Sola Scriptura. Again, I'll be back on Tuesday and Thursday morning with Rose 777, the Poppycock Report, on her channel, backup channel now, Rose 777 2.0, and on DLive and I don't know, other places. Check with Rose for that. I just follow along for the ride there. And then I'll be back next Saturday for more Unintended Consequences, and I think we have something special for you then as well. And haven't yet received any emails on the 9/11 photo project. If you have caught something to in that regard, a little project we were working on with Crow, hit me up at just the 911, so THE 911, the numbers, photo project, the 911 photo project at gmail.com. Let me know you caught something interesting, and I'll give you a link to go to a cloud file, and you can drop those in there and we'll have a look. And just tell me what we're looking at and include EXIF data and that sort of stuff. It doesn't have to be too complicated, just trying to get some goodies there. It doesn't even just have to be over this weekend. If you think about it and you have to cap into cash or something, I'm sure they do it all the time. But this would be, we just kind of figured that they would be ramping up during this season because we know how they love their numbers. And so with that, again, thank you so much, everyone who has been here. Even thank you, Tony, for I don't know, showing us what being a demonstration in life of some of these verses, and maybe take some time to consider that on your own. So again, Winston, Billingtano, Sue, Finelli, Joe Ray, Voynich, and all my friends, and if I missed you, I'm really sorry. Enlightened Dawn, again, all the folks, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I love that you guys spend time together and chat. That's part of why I do this, is so that you can just spend time with one another, get to know one another, and develop the tribe, right? Get the vibe for the tribe. And so with that, again, thank you so much. We'll see you again this evening. Let's see if I can find this page right here to say thank you very much, and we'll see you again this evening. Take care.